Hi guys, and welcome back to the Pink Book Nerd. Alright, so I already talked about The Betrothed, how much it was horrible. I have now gotten, now that The Betrayed, the second book to The Betrothed, is out. If you haven't read The Betrayed, you probably don't want to hear about this book. It's the second one. Honestly, it doesn't do much as a second book, but if you're interested in reading or hearing what I have to say about the first book, go ahead and click off this video, go read the other book first, and then come back. Anyway, so let's get into it. So basically, The Betrayed by Kiera is a sequel to The Betrothed. Again, I was expecting a little bit of romance because that just seems, that's Kiera scene, that's what she does, and she did an amazing job in the selection and the siren, but she just didn't live up to the expectation. I don't know if she can do better than the selection if she's getting worse as she writes. I'm really sorry because I love her. So, The Betrayed, if you have not read it, you can click off. I'm going to talk about it. Probably going to be some spoilers. No, there will be spoilers. I'm sorry. So basically, Hollis is now living with I guess Silas's mom and sister, and they went back to their country because someone was trying to kill them, but they think it's the king, so they're going back to the country where that evil king is. I don't know, this book is confusing, just as confusing as the first one, and it's kind of annoying. I'm really sorry. Maybe I just missed a whole bunch of stuff, and that's why I got confused by it, but it was just rushed and awful. It was not as awful as the first book. I will give it that. So basically, now she's living in the country with her husband's family, even though they were only married for maybe an hour and dated for 2 weeks? Maybe? I don't even know. Anyhow, so for some reason, Silas's cousin hates her. Eaton, whatever. He hates her, and she hates him, and I guess it's because she's from the neighboring country, but they hate each other, and he's really a jerk to her, and she's a jerk to him, and she's trying to fit in with the family, and with the cousin's mom and dad who don't hate her. They're really sweet, but he's just a jerk. So she's trying to fit in, she's trying to, be part of the family, and she's like, oh, I'm just gonna run away, nobody loves me, I'm gonna go back to Jameson for whatever reason. And then Eaton comes after her and he's like, oh, you make my mom happy, I haven't seen my family happy in years, it's the only reason I'm bringing you home. But then, after that scene, he's nice to her the whole rest of the book, even though he's like, oh yeah, I still hate you, but I'm gonna be nice to you. It just didn't make sense to me. It was way too fast of a turnaround for me. That either you really didn't hate her, or you just don't hold grudges very long, I don't know. So basically then, later on in the book, they get invited to the wedding of Isolite's King Quentin's son, who was always that sickly little kid who everyone thought was gonna die. So they're there, and they're interacting, and it's a lot of confusion, and I don't even remember most of the details, even though I read it maybe a week ago. It was just really rushed and really terrible. So basically, in the end of the book, she and Eaton, of course, are in love, and she's like, I can't marry you because that would be, not honoring Silas, even though we were only married for an hour and together for, maybe 3 weeks. That was a horrible love story, one of the worst ones I've ever read. Anyways, so she and Eaton pretty much want to get together, and then she becomes the queen because Jameson is dead because he killed himself because he tripped and fell on his sword while he was trying to attack Eaton. What? Who dies like that? That was one of the laziest book kind of endings or solutions or whatever you want to call it I have ever seen. he tripped over his sword while he was pulling it out so that he could kill Eaton, who had also just become the king of his country really way too easily. But Jameson tripped and fell on his sword because I don't know. What happened? What is this book? Why does it exist? It was... Kiera Cass, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just can't. Wow. So then they're like, oh yeah, Hollis is a queen of this country now, and Eaton's the king of his country, and they just love each other, but they can't be together because they're a king and queen of these countries that hate each other. But they're like, no, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna just get married and force our countries into one and hope that our citizens start to like each other after years and hundreds of years and generations of hate. So that is how you fix problems, people. You get married and you force people to become family, I guess. Anyways, it's a whole mess. It was really rushed. It was really terrible, which I really feel bad about saying, but it was just not... It was not Kiera Cass's best work. She could have done so much more, so much better. She could have spread it into 3 or even more books if she needed to. I would have loved that if she would have just slowed down, plotted a little more, and made things make sense. I definitely want to hear what you guys think. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why did you love it? Why did you hate it? And if you loved it, no hate to you. It's great if you loved it. Honestly, I wish that I loved it as much as some of you guys do. But just please, I'd love to know what made you love the books, what made you hate them, what were your favorite scenes, who's your favorite characters. I would love to know all this stuff. So definitely comment below all those things. Like, subscribe, and you can follow me on Instagram. Definitely let me know what kinds of books and videos you'd like me to read and make next. I love you guys' input, so thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.